When it just makes sense, it's your red-pilled brown girl searching for the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl. When it just makes sense, it's your red-pilled brown girl. Get into the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl.
It's your red-pilled brown girl.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Crystal. It's your red-pilled brown girl. How are you today? Oh my gosh, the weekend festivities. We got to talk about what's been going on. Easter, as usual, has been fantastic. It just reminds me of like my renewal faith in Christ, the whole premise of our faith is that Christ died and rose again. And a lot of people say, oh, it's a pagan holiday. And honestly, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I mean, there's a lot of things in our faith that we don't quite understand. A lot of beliefs that have been checked historically, and that's okay, you guys. We can still celebrate the fact that he arose, and I think that that's cool. Like, I'm not into kind of getting into those like theological conversations and it's pagan, it's against God. One of the scriptures that I love in the Bible is God knows your heart. And so if you are truly celebrating Easter with the premise that you just want to honor him and honor Jesus Christ, you believe that he died on the cross and rose again, I believe that he honors that. Like, and as you get wiser and you begin to think about things, maybe that, your positions may change about certain things. And that's okay. Like, that's all about our faith walk, and that's all about our journey. No judgment, to the people who's like, oh, it's a pagan holiday. But just don't judge us, that like believe and just kind of want to focus on that. So it has been a mess. You guys, did y'all see what was going on at the White House? So, okay, a lot of misinformation going on about, the White House deemed March 31st as Transgender Disability Day. That's what I call it. Transgendered Visibility Day. That's what people are saying, right? So I kind of feel like I don't like misinformation on either side, like whether we, are conservatives, MAGA and all of that. Like, I want to at least know the truth and be able to decipher it myself. So a lot of people are acting like Joe Biden and all of his stooges made March 31st Transgendered Disability Day last week. And that's not true. It's been that way for a while. The transgendered, oh my God, like, talk about narcissists, you guys. Right? Like, talk about narcissists, right? Airborne red, like, yes, narcissist. It's just always about them. They got a whole month in June. I think they got another month sometime. I think late, like maybe in October or somewhere. They got some kind of LGBT whatever. And then now they got March 31st transgendered visible. We see you. We can't help but see you. Like, literally, you're there. Everywhere we go, you're there. Reminding us that you have decided to be a different sex on the outside. Now, mind you, we all know that you cannot change your chromosomes. We all know that. But you want us to pretend that just because you dress up and you've decided that you don't like the sex that you were assigned at birth, your maker, we all have makers, right? We all have makers. Your maker made a mistake and they meant to make you a girl, and they messed up and made you a boy. Like, that's what you want to try and convince all of us. And I think that you have to have some kind of mental illness to think that. Like, you guys, If I came to you and I said, you know what? I don't like my arm. I don't like my arm. It's very intrusive. Like, I don't like every single time. It makes me look fat. I would look way skinnier if I didn't have my arms. And I just kind of want to get rid of them. You know, I think my maker made me, made me way too wide when he added arms. When he added arms to me, it just made me really wide, and I would be much skinnier. I would be able to go through doors much easily if I didn't have any arms. You would say that I am a psycho. You would say I'm a psycho. You'd be like, we need to admit this girl completely. And that's what transgendered people are doing. Now, mind you, I understand that they have a psychological issue. Like, they feel like they've been born in the wrong body. Fine. You can feel like that, right? Oh, you said finally, guy, you caught the live. Oh, thank you, Ray Pax. So fine. You feel like you've been born in the wrong body, right? Okay, fine. The fact that you are forcing the rest of us to play along. And if we don't, we are called transphobic. We are called all kinds of names. That's the issue that I have, you guys. Like, don't come to me wanting me to play along with what you have decided for yourself. Because I don't care what you call yourself, right? You can call yourself a woman. If you have a penis and it comes anywhere near my daughter, you might lose it, whether you wanted to or not. Whether you were planning on a sex change surgery or not. If you have a penis and you call yourself a woman and it comes anywhere near my child, you might lose it. That might be your sex change day. That might be your final commitment. You want to be a girl? That's gonna be the final commitment to we gonna make you commit. I'm just telling you. So don't ask me to play along. If you have a penis, you are biologically male, you have X and Y chromosome. If you have a vagina, you have a XX. I'm sorry. If they exhume your body year after year after years of you have dying, they will be able to determine what your maker made you. And that's just the truth. Guys, right? That's just the truth. And they don't like truth. That's why they hate us. So, like, they kept making a big deal about it on Easter, because, like, people always feel like they could come at Christians. You guys, like, what is this? Like, they always feel like they could come at Christians. Christians have become soft based on the gospel that is preached now. But I remember there was a time when Christians were, going through... like you get killed and stuff. And so, that wasn't right either. And so we've the pendulum have just swung so far, right? Where you're just allowed to disrespect the Christian gospel. And then they make you feel guilty. Like, you feel guilty. I'm like... So I was listening to Morning Joe, and these intellectuals, you guys, they, of course, are obsessed with our president, you guys. Our president, is promoting the God Bless America Bible, God Bless the USA Bible, right? Promoting it. And my question is, what would you like him to promote? What would you like him to promote? Would you like him to promote trans rights? Nobody says anything when people are promoting the things that they want to promote, like sexual immorality, when they're promoting, gay sex and all of that. Nobody says anything. But then when you promote the word of God, which over time is proven to have the best results, you guys. The people who follow the word of God have the best results in life. That is just the truth. That's just the truth. So when you have somebody promoting the word of God and promoting life living that way, you get mad and you get upset. And I really think that there's something sinister, you guys, because here, cup. Oh, make America God-fearing again. MAGA all the way, baby. Yeah, so I really think there's something sinister. I was watching this podcaster talk about, how you get somebody to go against the word of God. Well, they have made the world or other people, like other silly people, hate Trump so much, right? The media has propagandized the American people so much that they have this hatred for a man that they never met. You've never met this man. You don't know anything about him. I have people talking to me, you guys. It's actually really crazy. Like, people are talking to me like they met him in their heads. They're like, he did this, like that. You can't tell people who've never met this man that they don't know exactly what he did when he was 20 years old. You never met him a day in your life. Oh, when he was 25, he wouldn't rent to black people. Oh, really? Who said that? Well, the court case said, oh, really? Oh, so he was the only court case? They say that he wouldn't rent to black people when, in fact, in the matter, back in the day, I grew up in Brooklyn, right? I grew up in New York. And the crack epidemic was so prominent that it had went through the black community so bad. So it wasn't just Donald Trump and white people that wouldn't rent to black people. Anybody that knew anything about this whole crack epidemic was cautious to rent to people of certain ethnicities because of the risk, right? That crack would be affected, so anyway. But when I hear people say, oh, he wouldn't do this and he did, it's like almost like they know him, and I'm like, you've never met him a day in your life. And so the media has gotten people to hate him so much that they will hate anything that he deems right or good. So he has deemed the Bible to be right, and you have Christians against it. That's crazy. They will make you hate the messenger so bad that you reject the message. Oh, that's good, you guys. Listen. They will make you hate the messenger so much that you reject the message of truth. The fact is, this world is a godless nation right now, and they need Jesus. They need the Bible. They need the word of God. That's just the truth. You do not want a nation full of LGBTQ running it, talking about they love. Oh, we love so much. Oh, we love. And it's this fake kind of love that you will talk about ripping your unborn child out of your uterus. But you'll call the person who is praying for that unborn child an extremist. You will glamorize getting an abortion, like killing innocent blood. And then the person who says, hey, we are praying for you. We're praying that you're strong enough. Don't kill your baby. You will call that person extreme. These people are insane and they're sick. They will talk about pedophiles who like or are attracted to children as acceptable. And then a person who says, hey, I don't want pedophiles near me, they will call them extreme. They will call those people. We are in the times where the Bible warns, beware of the times where we call good evil and evil good. Like, it's so true. Your mom thinks you're a big meanie for being. Exactly. They're calling us mean. They're calling us mean. They're saying that we don't love, when the whole message of love is truth. I do not love you. I don't love you if I am willing to lie to you and tell you that if you pump up all these drugs into your body, you're sick as a dog. You are not going to enjoy sex anymore, which is a beautiful thing between a man and a woman, God's way. You're not going to enjoy that ever again. You're going to cut off your genitalia. I don't love you. I don't love you. I hate you, actually. And the Bible actually says that. So we have to be careful, you guys, that we are not manipulated. Like I hear Christians saying, well, I love. No, do not be forced into lies in the name of love, because they are not. They are not loving. They are not loving people, you guys. They are some of the most nasty, vile people. I say, oh, I got an abortion. I killed my baby. These are some of the most evil, vile people ever. I don't care. I remember there was this video that went viral, you guys. Did y'all see it? Where the girl was walking into the abortion clinic and she was videotaping herself. And the lady was like, please don't go to the abortion clinic. She was like, girl, this baby drowning in Casamigos. This baby is drowning in alcohol, Casamigo. She said it like it didn't even faze her. Girl, this baby is drowning in Casamigos. A baby drowning in Casamigos because of the mother neglect. This guy said, this black guy one time said that the most dangerous place for a black person in this country is inside the womb of a black mother. The most dangerous place for a black person is inside the womb of a black mother. Man, and you calling us hateful? Please, don't get me started. Don't get me started. I said, Airborne, you said I make too much sense. I'm serious, right? Like, it's too easy. This is too easy. Don't get manipulated. So another thing that they were talking about, that was a little bit disinformation. It says White House bans religious symbols on Easter eggs. That's not true. They've always banned it. Like, they've always said, hey, you can't have religious symbols, and that's to respect other religions. The fact of the matter is that they hate Christianity. They don't do this with anybody else. They don't put any kind of restrictions on any other religion but ours. And you know what? Jesus said they will hate you because they hated me. No servant is greater than its master. And we are servants of Christ. And so they're going to hate us, you guys. We just got to know that that we'd rather them hate us than Jesus say, depart from me, ye worker of iniquity. I never knew you. That is my fear, you guys. So anyway, let's get into what happened last week, you guys. So the Trump-Biden funeral. I mean, look, I said the Trump-Biden funeral. Trump attending the funeral of the fallen officer. You guys, did y'all see that? Oh my God. I was so upset when I saw Trump. Let me just go to YouTube. You guys, Trump attending the funeral of the fallen officer. He is America's president, you guys. Like, he is the people's president. So he attends the officer's funeral, which I thought was
I am
just
very
beautiful.
humbly asking if you could chip
on,
in
you guys.
$5, $10, or even $25. I know that times could be tough.
So he attends the officer's funeral remarks, and then gives remarks on it, and it was just so beautiful. You guys, I love this scene. Listen to the remarks that he gave. We're not gonna listen to
Well,
the
thank
whole
you very
thing.
much, everybody. I want to thank Bruce and all of the people that have worked so hard to make this area beautiful and safe. And this is what happened. It's such a sad event, such a horrible thing, and it's happening all too often. And we're just not going to let it happen. We just can't. 21 times arrested, this thug, and the person in the car with him was arrested many times. And they don't learn because they don't respect You know, they're not given the respect. The police are the greatest people we have. There's nothing and there's nobody like them, and this should never happen. I just visited with a very beautiful wife that now doesn't have her husband. Stephanie was just incredible. Their child, brand new, beautiful baby. So they're innocent as can be. Doesn't know how his life has been changed. But the Diller family you'll never be the same. You can never be the same. And we have.
Y'all, do you see how he is just the people's president? I mean, like the way that he remembered the name of the wife and the baby, and the way he talked about, like he talked like he knew them, and it was so beautiful and so sincere. He didn't even make it about politics. He made it more about like policy. Like this guy should be still alive because the person who killed him should be in prison. Like these liberal and leftist policies are not working. They're not helping, and they're causing more death and more dangerous situations for its citizens and its police officers. Like, and the fact that he would attend that type of service while Biden attends in New York City a Lizzo concert, a Lizzo fundraising. First of all, my thing, you guys, with that, right? It's like, why would he even allow them? Like, Biden, Lizzo fundraiser. Let's say that they said, "Hey, sir, you have to look, Biden facing fire for having Lizzo at his $26 million fundraiser. Biden vigorously denounced for having Lizzo. First of all, Lizzo is a mess, right? So I think even if he was asked, like, let's say, right, like it's been planned years in advance, right? Like, let's be fair to Joe Biden, right? It's been planned months in advance, a lot of money riding on this Lizzo concert, blah, 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 right? He could have told his handlers, if he was in charge, mind you, he's the president of the United States. Guys, I have got to run to go see this family. And then I will be back to see Lizzo, excuse me. I'll be back to see Fatso and get my $26 million. But before I do that, I have to run to this fallen officer's funeral, greet his family, and just give my condolences for 5 seconds, right? Like, for him to not do that, you guys, you show that he is just so inhumane. Like, that party is so inhumane. They really don't care about the people that they're supposed to be serving, which are the police officers and its citizens. Like, and for him to just do it like, oh, like no big deal. $26 million is way more important than going and greet a fallen soldier. You guys, if the roles had been reversed and Trump did that, first of all, Trump would never do that. You guys, like, I have seen stories of where he has lost sleep, like that he has I've seen stories where he promised to be somewhere and they were like, there's no way he's coming, it's 10 o'clock at night, he's not going to be able to show up, and he still shows up. Like, so that would not be Trump. But let's say the shoes had been on the other foot, they would have nailed that man so bad. And the fact that nobody's even talking about the fact that he ignored the fallen officer's funeral and didn't even acknowledge it, and then went to a Lizzo fundraising concert. You guys, we should, like, our media is so dishonest. We should almost demand that they show that kind of coverage, because that's crazy. That is crazy. And if Trump had did it, they would have been losing their minds. But I mean, honestly, my condolences to all the officers out there, but especially Officer Dillard's family, all the officers, all the officer's family that when your officer or the member of your family walks out, you don't know if they're coming home. You don't know if they're going to have a bad interaction. You don't know what's going to happen. They're going to meet somebody with a disability. And they put themselves in harm's way every single day, in danger every single day for us, you guys. Do you know what that's like? I don't. I can't even imagine. It's such a thankless freaking job to be a police officer to people who are bratty and ungrateful. There was a time, you guys, when we used to honor them, like when you seen them come in, like your eyes would light up, and to see how despicable we have treated them. Like, it makes me so mad. Every single time my kids see an officer, I point at them and I say, what do you say? And they say, thank you for your service. Even if an officer is down the street, like, and they're like, thank you for your service. And we have to make sure that we make that, good again. It's such an honorable job. And the way people have treated them is so terrible. And you better pray. If you are the one that is treating them like that, you better pray you don't need them. You better pray you don't need them. Because I guarantee you, your politicians are not going to come save you. Anyway, that's my rant for police, you guys. I don't know. I just kind of feel like the news media. I was watching something today. Oh, I was watching Morning Joe, and they were talking about Donald Trump, and they were saying he's such an evil person. And they said, and I quote, Joe Biden is such a sincere and committed Catholic. A sincere and committed Catholic. A sincere and committed Catholic that doesn't care about fallen soldiers. A sincere, committed Catholic that promotes LGBTQ in the White House. A sincere and committed Catholic who celebrates Trans Disability Day on Easter. And don't say, hey, we are not celebrating it this Sunday. There's a scheduling conflict. I don't care. We are going to have to do it on Saturday. We're going to have to do it on March 30th this year because I refuse to celebrate that. No, that wasn't Joe Biden. Joe Biden is bought and paid for just like everybody else. And the fact that the Christian and the churches have been silent. God is so offended by your silence. I mean, seriously. Anyway, okay. So let's talk about I want to talk about the Roe versus Wade, you guys. The Roe versus Wade. That was big in the news. This whole IVF thing that they are making up. Okay, so what happened with Roe versus Wade? Everybody knows Donald Trump. They're trying to make it something that it's not, right? Roe versus Wade made it a federal law that you can, that you have the right to an abortion. You have a right. So the conflict then becomes because everybody is made in the image of God. Everybody, like every human body, is made in the image of God, including the unborn. They have a right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, right? So there's this conflict because there's a right for the woman, the mom, the mother, to live, and then a right for the fetus to live. And so Roe versus Wade said that it's unconstitutional to the fetus to give somebody a federal right to have an abortion. So they threw it back to the states, right? They threw it back to the states. They said, let the states figure it out, which in my opinion, you guys, I feel like there's no right to have an abortion. I feel and I believe sincerely with all my heart that your rights stopped when you got pregnant. Once there was a viable fetus in your womb, your rights ended. It said guarantee privacy between patients and their medical. Abortion was just an app. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. Fine. Ray Pax, I hear you. I'm just talking solely about the abortion piece, right? So my thing is and I'm not an expert. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. I am a pundit. Okay. I am not an expert. My opinion is you have a right to decide to sleep unprotectedly. You have a right to prevent the pregnancy. You have a right to choose the person you lay down with. You have all those rights. However, your rights stop when there is a fetus inside of your womb. And that's not even a Christian thing, you guys. That is truly a humanitarian thing. You can say that it's true, that it's Christian, but it's really not. Like, when you think about it, you don't have a right to kill anybody. You don't have a right to kill or end the life of anybody. Nobody. Including the body that's inside. You do not have a right to kill it. If you do kill it, people can say there are reasons to kill. Absolutely. I know a lot of people that, that say, oh, I should have killed. But, or, oh, I understand why that person got killed, or I understand why that person got shot. Yes, there are understandable reasons that people die, but to say that you have a right to kill somebody, I just don't necessarily think that that's true. You don't. Everybody has a right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And if you decide to do that, you are going to deal with the consequences of it. You are. Whether you believe in the Bible or not, the Bible is full of a set of laws and principles that govern humanity and society, almost like the law of gravity. Whatever goes up must come down. The law of sowing and reaping. Everybody says, hey, you sow, you shall reap, right? Like, so all of that. So I don't think that we talk enough about the consequences to women who decide that they no longer want the baby that is inside of their womb. Hey, I just decided that I don't want it. Okay, fine. You kill your baby. There are consequences that will far surpass this generation. If you believe in the Bible, right? If you believe in the Bible, it talks about innocent blood. God will judge an entire nation. And he even talks about it. He talks about poverty and sickness coming upon you when you shed innocent blood, right? Think about the poorest among us. Think about the ones that most poverty happens to. Think about the most crime. It is directly correlated with the people who have the most abortions. Black Americans have the most abortions. We are the poorest. We are the sickest. We are the one. And then we keep saying that it's because of racism. I wonder if we talk to these young women and these young men and say, no, maybe it's not because of racism. Maybe it's because of the death and destruction you have sowed into your future. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right? So when you're sowing into your life, damnation, destruction, poverty, then you're reaping it and you can't figure out why. I feel like that needs to be the honest conversation that we have with these young girls and with these families, you guys. I wrote a book. It's an ebook, you guys. Please download it. It's called Lies They Tell. Because I can guarantee you a lot of these young people that are having abortions, they just think that, oh, I just don't want the baby and I'm having it. I don't want to deal with it. Fine. You don't have to deal with the baby, but now you got to deal with the poverty, the sickness, all the destruction that's going to come into your life because of that. You wonder if they would make a different decision if they knew that, right? You wonder. But we act like, oh, it's all good. It's done. And it's not. Years and years and years of consequences are happening to these families, and they don't even know why. They don't know why they're poor. They don't know why they're sick. Could it be because of that? And that to me is the biggest question. And so they keep making this whole Roe versus Wade argument a political one. And then they keep bringing up like, oh God, like they keep bringing up the 13-year-old girl that got pregnant. You guys, I'm sorry. YouTube. The 13-year-old girl that got pregnant is the exception. It is not the rule. These girls are out here having unprotected sex. These boys are out here having unprotected sex, and they're getting pregnant. The 13-year-old rape victim is not who's getting pregnant, y'all. It's just not. It's not. Yeah, it happens. Don't get me wrong. Like, of course, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't happen, but that's not the majority of what's happening. The majority is that
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Yes, problem.
You need Verizon. Get the new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of
what's happening is irresponsible sex havers are getting pregnant. And then somebody is coming to them and saying, oh, sorry, you can get rid of the baby. And they cannot get rid of the baby without consequences. That's the part that no one is telling you. You cannot get rid of the baby without I can't find that article, you guys. I'll find it. You cannot get rid of the baby without consequences. And I think that that's probably the bigger conversation for me is that making sure that these people are having well-informed decisions, because you're just kind of letting them know, you could just get rid of your baby. You don't want your baby, go ahead and don't have your baby. Like that you guys is dangerous. It's dangerous. You're sowing that stuff into your future. Think about it. When your kids have kids and your grandkids have grandkids, can you think about it? Exactly. Who got a 13-year-old Exactly. Y'all, we just need to stop lying. We need to stop lying. Pregnancy is a act of, it's a divine act, you guys. It really is. Think about all the women who are having sex and can't make a baby to save their lives. They can't make a baby. They can't make a baby to save their lives. They can't. They having all the sex in the world. They would pay you to make a baby. You can't make a baby. Right? And then, so it's not something that just happens, like, and so when a rape victim very small percentage of people get pregnant via rape. So everybody keep talking about this 13-year-old that gets raped. This 13-year-old that gets raped. 13-year-old gets raped. You guys, one in a million? But then all these women and these girls are just having these abortions based on the 13-year-old that got raped. And it's just a lie. AZK T71, who got a 13-year-old pregnant? I'm sure there's a few. It's not a lot. And that's just the truth, you guys. And so for us to be making policies based off of that, we need to stop and halt. Kill the rapist. Don't kill the baby. Because any baby that's in your womb, God put it there. That's just the truth. Even a 13-year-old who, made a mistake and started having sex with her, her child boy. You guys, we can find other options. A child's life is not over. I was actually talking to someone who I respect so greatly. And she was like, yeah, I was a teen parent. I got pregnant at 13. And I was like, what? Mind you, she's a very well-accomplished woman today. She was like, yeah, I got pregnant at 13 and I kept my baby. I was like, really? She was like, yeah. She said, oh my God, people said my life was over. People said, I'm never going to finish school. She was like, people said, you're not. And I said, really? She said, I sure did. She said, I finished school. And I'm like, those are the stories that we don't we almost act like having a baby is the end of the world. Having a baby is the most beautiful thing that you could ever do. You will never do anything more beautiful. I don't care about your degrees. I don't care about your accomplishments. I don't care what you do. You will never, and I quote, you will never do anything better than having a child, ever. And it's just the truth. Like Larry Elder, I was listening to him the other day, and he was talking about him not having children. And he was like, that was the worst thing that he ever did in his life, is not having a child. He was like, I didn't want children, and then so I didn't have them. And then he was like, if I had to say anything that I regretted more, it was not having a child. So you guys don't allow yourself to be manipulated by these Roe versus Wade people. Like they're just stupid. They're just stupid. You guys, they're just stupid. Base it off of your own experiences. Base it off of your own experiences. Are you better off because you weren't able to have an abortion? And they trying to like make it Donald Trump's fault. Donald Trump is he's so proud of it. He's like, I stopped Roe versus Wade. Because it's a proud moment. We cannot be we cannot be aborting our babies and aborting them and all well into the 5th and 6th and 7th month, like where they can feel pain. Like, oh my God, like, I can't even think about it. Breaks my heart, you guys. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here, like, you guys, let's talk about it. Let's keep talking about it and be confident. Conservatives, be confident in your convictions. Please don't let them like back us into a corner and make us feel bad and make us feel like we're hateful and no. They are the hateful people. We are the loving people because we love them enough to tell them the truth, okay? In the meantime, you guys, go to www.liestheytell.com. And I know the day before birth is sick. Go to www.liestheytell.com and download a copy of my ebook, a free copy of my ebook. And it actually tells you my experience through abortion and how I was lied to and told me it was a clump of cells and it wasn't a big deal. And some of the things that I never even thought about impacted my life because I decided to be a coward and get rid of my baby. And some people say, oh, well, Crystal, you can't tell people to not have an abortion when you've had abortions. Well, if you went to prison and you came out of prison, are you disqualified from telling somebody, hey, don't go to prison? Of course you should be. You should be the very one that tells people don't go to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a DUI and you were a drunk driver and you come you hurt somebody because of being a drunk driver, are you disqualified from telling people do not drive drunk? No circumstances, do not drive drunk. We only apply these to things that we want to do. And so I believe that God has gifted me with this testimony of how much better, people say, oh my God, if you had a baby. No, I actually think that my life could have been much better had I had the courage to face my responsibility. I would have grew up a lot faster. Maybe, me having a baby would have made me more serious about school, made me more serious about running my business. Who knows? And so I actually share that in my story. So go get your free copy of Lies They Tell and let me know. Always hit me up. I love you guys in the comments. The chats have been off the chain today. Yes. Another way to money launder. Absolutely. They're money laundering all that money that they're quote unquote fundraising for. Oh gosh, like you guys, we have got to get our country back on track, you guys. We have got to, and honestly, they should be grateful that this is a Christian nation. You do not want to live under the rules of Islam. You don't want to be, you want to be in a nation that has Judeo-Christian values. You want to be in a nation like even the LGBTQ that hates us so much. You want to be in a Judeo-Christian nation. Because you try that over there overseas in the Middle East, you try that mess and you wrap Muhammad up in a rainbow flag and bet you wish you hadn't. I bet you wish you hadn't. Anyway, you guys. Anyway, oh my God, let me know what you guys think. I love you guys so much. Thanks for letting me chat with you. Thanks for listening to my opinions. Thank you. Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. We are going to talk about some more good stuff. And until next time, peace.
When it just makes sense, it's your red-pilled brown girl searching for the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl. When it just makes sense, it's your red-pilled brown girl. Get into the truth. It's your red-pilled